Hi, welcome to architectfordesign.com. In this video, we shall discuss in detail about building a house on a 40 by 60 site. If you are planning to buy a 40 by 60 site or already have a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore and plan to start construction on it, this video would be informative. So do watch this video till the end as it covers all details such as how many floors can be built, floor area ratio for 40 by 60 site, how many houses or units can be built, construction cost, etc. At Architects for Design, we offer architecture and construction services in Bangalore. We take up complete turnkey house construction in Bangalore starting at just rupees 1800 per square feet onwards. Here are few of our completed projects at present as of 2022. The current house construction cost in Bangalore for building rental houses starts from rupees 1800 per square feet onwards. And for independent duplex house construction, it starts from upwards of rupees 2100 per square feet. If you have a site in Bangalore and searching for architects or building contractors for construction of your dream house, then please call us or visit our website for further details. Construction cost calculator tool. To calculate the residential duplex house construction cost in Bangalore, one can use our free construction cost calculator tool to calculate the current house construction cost in Bangalore. The link to the calculator is given at the description box below. Planning to build a house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore? Know about how many floors can be built, the process of getting plan sanction, BESCOM, BWSSB connection, etc. Building a house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. Demand for housing. In a developing city like Bangalore, where there is an influx of people searching for job or pursuing their career, this process has resulted in huge demand for housing in the residential real estate sector in and around Bangalore. About 40 by 60 site. 40 by 60 sites are mostly preferred by middle or upper middle class sector. These are the most common site dimensions seen after 30 by 40 sites. The advantage of a 40 by 60 site is that the road width is much wider compared to a 30 by 40 site. This additional road width helps in getting better natural light and ventilation for the house. Though a 40 by 60 or a 2400 square feet site is expensive when compared to a 30 by 40, some of the advantages of a bigger site are better planning, more open spaces, the scope for an architect to design is much better, wider setbacks, can take care of parking needs, etc. Cost of a 40 by 60 site. The real estate prices for any property depends on how far the property is located when compared to the city center or how close by essentials are located such as hospitals, schools, colleges, malls, general stores, etc. A 40 by 60 site in Bangalore can cost upwards of rupees 2900 per square feet if it's located on the city outskirts and upwards of rupees 10,000 per square feet if it's located closer to the city prime locations. However, one needs to ensure that one does not overshoot the overall cost of building his home, including the site purchase and house construction. Hence, one needs to be extra careful on the right budget, which is kept aside for site purchase and house construction. There are many options for building a house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. It depends on the budget and requirements. Few of the options that one can build are independent house, duplex house, duplex plus rental house, or only rental houses. What can I construct or build on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore? There are different options for building a house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. It depends on requirements and budget. Some of the options are duplex, rental, or a mix of both. One needs to make a balance of the needs and requirements, meeting the planned budget. Option 1. Independent house. If you plan to build a single unit house of a 2 BHK concept on a 40 by 60 by just constructing the ground floor with minimum budget, this would be the best option. However, one needs to ensure that the concept and structural design are planned for all the floors well in advance. Option 2. Duplex house. If you plan to build one independent duplex house on 40 by 60, this would be the best option as one can build a 3 BHK or 4 BHK duplex house of around 3000 square feet built up area on a G+1 floor without other units like rental houses. In this option, one gets more privacy as there is only one unit on the site. One can also design the second floor for more luxury requirements such as gym, home theater, terrace bar counter, etc. If there is a requirement for 2 car parks, then one can plan to leave the entire ground floor that is still for parking purposes and plan the duplex on upper floors. This will have an advantage of more spacious house with better natural light and ventilation. Option 3. Duplex plus rental houses. If one plans to build a duplex house for his own use and some rental units to generate some rental income from the property, this would be the best option. However, one must know that there would be a compromise on privacy as this concept would have more than one until developed. One can build a duplex unit on the upper floors as this will have more natural light and better ventilation. Option 4. Rental houses. If one is thinking of return on investment, this would be a better option wherein one can build multiple rental units with a combination of 2 BHK, 1 BHK, 3 BHK, etc. One can build G+3 floors with maximum utilization of floor area ratio to generate rental income for the property owner. This will help the owner repay the loans or borrowings taken for house construction. One can also come across houses built of G+4 floors. Such buildings will have building plan deviation compared to their sanction plan. What is the floor area ratio for a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore, and how many floors can I build or construct on a 40 by 60 site? What is the floor area ratio for a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore? How many floors can I build or construct on a 40 by 60 site? Before building a house on a 40 by 60 site, one needs to know about the floor area ratio of the floors that can be constructed. If the property is A Kata or B Kata, various approvals that are required, deposits to various authorities, building deviations, etc. What is floor area ratio? The floor area ratio is defined as a total amount of usable floor area of a building that has been permitted to the total area of a site on which the building is constructed or built. What is the floor area ratio for a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore? The minimum floor area ratio for a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore is 1.75 for a less than 30 feet road width, or in some cases it can be even greater than that, up to 2.25 or more. So on a 2400 square feet, one can calculate built up area as the site dimensions in terms of square feet. 2400 multiplied 1.75 floor area ratio equals to 4200 square feet. And with 2.25 floor area ratio, one can achieve a built up area of 5400 square feet. What is Ekata and Bikata? An Ekata sites can be defined as sites or layouts that are formed following all government norms and regulations like DC conversion, change of land use from agricultural land to residential land, getting layout formation approvals like BDA, BMRDA, Gram Panchayat, etc. Whereas Vikata sites can be defined as sites or layouts that are formed without following all government norms and regulations. Sites formed on agricultural lands without DC conversion or change of land and not taking necessary approvals from government bodies such as BDA, BMRDA, Gram Panchayat, etc. Some of the disadvantages of Bikata sites are, in some cases, approval is not possible. Nationalized banks generally don't give loans for such sites and hence need to approach other private or NFBCs banks where interest rates would be higher. How many floors can I build or construct on a 40 by 60 site? As per sanction plans given by BBMP, if the road width is less than 30 feet, one can construct G+3 floors. Note, if one is getting approval for G+3 floors, then G floor should be shown as tilt floor or parking area. One can also build G+4 floors if the road width is wider than 40 feet with an floor area ratio of 2.25, or if the site comes in a special commercial zone. However, one might come across buildings of G+4 floors on a 40 by 60 site with less than 30 feet road. Such types of constructions have violated BBMP plan sanctioned bylaws. Such structures will come under Akrama Sakrama, which is draft prepared by the Karnataka government to regularize buildings that have violated construction bylaws. In this drafted Akrama Sakrama, one must pay a fine or penalty concerning the percentage of violations done. What are some plan deviations seen on a 40 by 60 house construction? Floor area ratio violation, adding additional floors, leaving less or no setbacks, parking area covered or converted to residential use, not implementing rainwater harvesting, violation in the height of the building, construction of more units than sanctioned. As per Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagar Palike, BBMP sanctioned bylaws for a 40 by 60 size with a 30 feet road width with a floor area ratio of 1.75. One can have a built up area of 2100 square feet if the width of the road is wider than 40 feet. One can get an floor area ratio of 2.25, but most structures built on 40 by 60 have building deviation ranging from 5 to 20%. Approvals required for construction of a house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore like BBMP, BMRDA, BWSSB, BESCOM, etc. Approvals required for construction of a house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. Many government approvals are required for building a new house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore, such as getting plan approval from necessary authorities like BBMP, BMRDA, BDA, Gram Panchayat, etc. Power connection from BESCOM, water connection from BWSSB, etc. How to get plan sanction for a 40 by 60 site? One has to submit an application on the BBMP website with the help of licensed architect or engineer authorized by BBMP. After that, one must upload the required documents for plan sanction and pay the fees online. If all details are satisfactory, then one can get approval within 30 days. The cost of getting plan sanction in Bangalore varies from Rs 1 to Rs 1.60 lakhs. It depends on various factors such as site dimensions, guidance value, number of units, residential or commercial approvals, built-up area, authority under the property needs to be approved like BBMP, BDA, BMRDA, Gram Panchayat, etc. How to apply for a connection from BESCOM? Once the plan sanction has been approved, the next is to get an electrical connection from BESCOM to start the construction. One must visit the BESCOM subdivisional office in your area and obtain an application form. One needs to fill this form along with the required documents and submit it with the registration fees. The documents required would be a plan sanction copy, the latest Kata certificate, sale deed, latest property tax, ID proof, passport size photo. Once the power is sanctioned, one needs to pay a couple of deposits and infrastructure charges to the subdivisional BESCOM office, such as meter security deposit based on meters capacity, initial security deposit based on load, service line charges, service connection charges. How to apply for a water connection from BWSSB? Applying for a BWSSB water connection, one has to visit the BWSSB subdivision office in your area and buy the application form or download it from the BWSSB website. One needs to submit this form along with the required documents such as plan sanction copy, address proof, kata, latest tax paid receipt, stamp paper of ₹20. Rainwater harvesting adoption document certifying that the site has implemented RWH for sites measuring 1200 square feet and more. One can also give a self-declaration saying that RWH has been installed in your house along with a photo of RWH system. The total BWSSB charges are total fees plus pro rata charges plus beneficiary capital contribution. A DD has to be taken for the total charges in favor of the chairman BWSSB. The breakup of cost includes meter charges, inspection fees, 3 months advance fees, water connection fee, sewage line fee, pro rata charges. Now we shall discuss the current 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore for building a house on a 40 by 60 site with various possible options like ground floor, ground plus first floor up to G+4 floors. 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore for ground floor with 1600 square feet built up area will cost rupees 38 lakhs. G+1 floor with 3500 square feet built up area will cost rupees 66 lakhs. G+2 floors with 5580 square feet built up area will cost rupees 1 crore. G+3 floors with 7550 square feet built up area will cost rupees 1.39 crore. G+4 floors with 9600 square feet built up area will cost rupees 1.70 crore. 40 by 60 duplex house construction cost in Bangalore for G+2 floors with 3550 square feet built up area will cost rupees 80 lakhs. 40 by 60 rental house construction cost in Bangalore with ground floor left for parking, G+4 floors with 9700 square feet built up area will cost rupees 1.94 crore. Now let's discuss in detail about the different options of building a house on a 40 by 60 in Bangalore and the possible construction cost. 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore for building a house on ground floor only of 2 BHK or 3 BHK. We shall now discuss in detail about different possibilities of building a house on ground floor only on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. Ground floor 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore. Option 1. 1 BHK or 2 BHK on 40 by 60 site. Site dimension 40 by 60. Requirements. Building just ground floor 1 BHK or 2 BHK house. Built up area 1000 to 1500 square feet. Construction cost. The construction cost for building just ground floor would be higher when compared to G+1 floor. If one plans to go for a 2400 square feet or 40 by 60 construction in Bangalore in 2 phases, if one is running short on a budget, then this would be the best option, as the project can be executed or constructed in phases as per available budget. The first phase would be to construct the ground floor, and in the second phases to build the above floors as per the available budget. But in this option, one should make sure that the selected residential architect gives the required residential house designs to execute the house plans and all architectural working drawings to execute the project for all floors. One should have all supporting structural working drawings required to execute the structural engineer's project in the initial design phase itself. These supporting drawings will be needed to execute the project's next phases without any delay. 2 BHK ground floor built up area 1000 square feet. This option can build a spacious 2 BHK house with 2 master bedrooms with 3 car park provisions and 8 to 12 two-wheeler parking. A normal setback area of around 4 feet can be left all around the house except the roadside. One can give a provision for a small land spacing area or create a green zone of around 50 square feet. If the upper floors are planned for an apartment concept, one can think of having a lift provision. If you are doing this in different phases, you also need to have the proposed 3D building elevation for the entire building prepared by your architect. 2 BHK ground floor built up area 1500 square feet. In continuation of the above requirements, one can build a 3 BHK independent house with 3 rooms. But in this case, the parking would be from 1 or 2 small cars only, with the remaining space for two-wheeler parking with an external staircase to the above floor. Since the parking area is restricted in this option, the best advice is to build fewer units on the upper floors, ideally one duplex house. In this option also, even though you are building just the ground floor, one needs to get the floor plans and all the required working drawings required to construct the upper floors in the next phase. 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore for building a rental house on 40 by 60 site. We shall now discuss in detail about different possibilities of a building rental houses on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. Rental houses 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore. Site dimension 40 by 60. Requirements. Rental houses of G+2 to G+4 floors. Built up area 6800 to 7000 square feet plus. If you are thinking of building a house as just an investment or thinking about return on investment, then in this option, we discuss building multiple units. The current 2400 square feet or 40 by 60 construction rates for building rental units of G+3 or G+4 floors will start from rupees 1900 per square feet. There are multiple options or combination for building rental houses like G+3 or G+4 floors. As per BBMP plan approval bylaws, one gets approval for G+3 floors on a 40 by 60 plot while showing the ground floor for parking use. If the site comes under a commercial zone or faces bigger road width, in such cases, one can get more floor area ratio of 2.25 compared to standard floor area ratio of 1.75. Ideally, if you plan to have more tenant units, it is recommended to leave the entire ground floor for parking. It can meet the parking needs of multiple combination of 1 BHK, 2 BHK or 3 BHK built, and one can also consider building an additional floor in future is required. Before meeting the architects for designing your home, you need to research the best combination of houses to construct to get the property's maximum rental income. Once you have your requirements ready, you can meet your selected architects and give the total requirements like number of floors, tenant units, parking requirements, setbacks, number of units per floor, water management, etc. Once the architect's overall floor plans meets your requirements, the next step would be designing a 3D elevation for the proposed building. This 3D elevation shows how the building will look once construction is completed. Rental houses on a 40 by 60 with the ground floor for parking, G+3 or G+4 floors. If you need to construct additional floors requiring more parking spaces to take care of additional units to be constructed, this option would be more suitable. One can come across 40 by 60 house construction that have G+3 or G+4 floors being built on them. Generally, most such buildings will have one floor violations, which means they have additional floors built other than the sanctioned drawings. 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore for building a duplex house on 40 by 60 site. We shall now discuss in detail about different possibilities of building a duplex house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. 40 by 60 duplex house construction cost in Bangalore. Site dimension 40 by 60. Requirements 3 or 4 BHK independent duplex house G+1 2 silt plus G+2 floors. Built up area 3000 square feet. If you are planning to build a duplex house on 40 by 60 site or construction of a duplex house with some additional units, then these would be the option you need to look at below suggestions. The scope of architects to design would be much better here. Other options during the preparation of duplex house plans, one needs to discuss the requirements like no rooms, setbacks, etc. One needs to make sure that one finalizes floor plans before proceeding with the designing of a 3D elevation. 3 BHK duplex house construction in Bangalore, built up area 3000 square feet. In continuation of the above requirement to know what would the 40 by 60 residential construction cost in Bangalore. For building a duplex house, in this scenario, we continue considering that one has a sufficient budget and requires all modern amenities or premium requirements like having a terrace garden, water body, home theater, gym, bar, barbecue area, deck area, etc. In such a case, the client needs to add more built-up area, considering adding a floor to meet his requirement. This not only increases the built-up area, but also increases the residential construction cost of the project. These premium amenities will also cost more than the standard construction rates, around rupees 1900 per square feet. If one plans to build his house on G+2 floors with a 4 BHK concept, one can have a good designer landscape with a water body at the entrance, a small porch area with covered car park spaces for 2 cars, good elevation with premium material used for wall cladding like granite, marble, stacking stones, composite materials, etc. For windows, one can even plan to have bigger windows with frameless glass railings for the balcony. 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore for building a duplex house on 40 by 60 site. We shall now discuss in detail about different possibilities of building a duplex house on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. Duplex plus rental 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore. Site dimension 40 by 60. Requirements duplex house plus rental houses G+2 to G+4 floors. Built up area 5800 to 6800 square feet plus. In this option, we consider a scenario where one needs to build both a duplex house and some rental units to generate some rental income on his 40 by 60 site. But even before one proceeds, one needs to finalize on which floors he wants his duplex home to be planned, as there are various possibilities as explained below. Below is explained in detail about 40 by 60 duplex house construction cost in Bangalore along with various scenarios. First, one needs to decide on the parking option, as one can even consider leaving the entire ground floor for parking area and then build the housing units from upper floors, or leave space for just one car park with 8 to 12 two-wheeler parking spaces to accommodate rental units also. You have the option of having your duplex house on G+1 or first and second floors. If you choose G+1, you have the main advantage of starting the house from the ground floor, which means that even older people can easily access the space without much difficulty. The advantage of this option would be the carpet area would be less, which means a smaller living area, bedrooms, etc. This space crunch is caused by leaving the parking area and have an internal and external staircase pass through the same roof. If your option is to choose to plan your duplex house on the upper floors, the tenant or rented units will be planned below the duplex unit. In this option, you have more advantages than disadvantages. Some of the pros are better ventilation and natural light. You will be on the upper floors, less noise and more privacy as you can plan their better placements of windows and doors. The entire terrace can be privately used where you can plan your future needs like terrace garden, bar counter, deck area, barbecue zone, gym, etc. More space is available as you need not leave space for parking or an external staircase, leading to bigger rooms and living zones. The main disadvantage of this option would be that one needs to climb 1 or 2 floors to reach the duplex unit. This can be solved by providing a lift, which will increase the construction cost by additional 12 to 18 lakhs. Also, one needs to keep in mind that the residential construction cost will be more for a duplex unit than compared to rental units. This is caused when one chooses premium construction materials for finishes like flooring, cladding, painting, bathware fitting, woodwork, etc. 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore for building apartment units on 40 by 60 site. We shall now discuss in detail about different possibilities of building apartment units on a 40 by 60 site in Bangalore. Apartment 40 by 60 construction cost in Bangalore. Site dimension 40 by 60. Requirements apartment construction of G+3 to G+4 floors. Built up area 6800 to 7800 square feet plus. If you plan to build an apartment and sell it, this would be the best option. In the below options, we discuss 2400 square feet or 40 by 60 apartment construction cost in Bangalore and discuss the various pros and cons of building an apartment on a 40 by 60 site. Can I construct an apartment on a 40 by 60 site? Yes and no both. The reason being, as per BDA norms, one should have a minimum site dimension of around 8000 square feet plus if a builder needs to build multiple units and sell them as independent flats. Since a 40 by 60 site comes with a 2400 square feet area less than the permissible limit of around 8000 square feet, it's difficult to construct apartments officially and it will be difficult to get an occupation certificate or completion certificate. Approval for apartment. If a 40 by 60 site comes under BBMP limits, then one can get a 40 by 60 plan sanction from BBMP showing 4 to 5 kitchens max. Note, in most cases, it's only 4 kitchen approval, with a minimum floor area ratio can be considered at 1.75, which means a built-up area of 2400 square feet site multiplied with 1.75 floor area ratio that equals to 4200 square feet, excluding parking area. This means that 4 kitchen on approval means one can construct and sell only 4 houses or 4 apartments. Many small builders build apartments on 40 by 60 and get the apartment registered to an independent homeowner under multiple dwelling without any OC or CC, which is illegal. Still, one can come across such practices on such site dimensions. These so-called apartments are generally developed on upcoming residential localities where the real estate prices are high. If a builder is constructing an apartment on a 40 by 60, in most cases, he goes to get plan sanction of stilt or ground plus 3 floors where the ground floor is completely left open for parking space. One can build 2 BHK multiplied with 2 numbers of around 800 square feet each. In some cases, one can come across such a building having an additional floor built which violates the BBMP plan approval bylaws. What is stilt floor? As the stilt floor is a floor where the flooring level will be plus or minus 3 feet from the nearest floor level. It is considered zero level. Generally, a stilt floor will have the minimum height required for parking only, which can be considered as plus 8 feet compared to general slab height of around 10.5 feet. A stilt floor reduces not only the building construction cost but also building overall height. You might come across many builders constructed multi-dwelling apartments on a 40 by 60 site with more than 4 units. Such construction can be seen more on Bikata properties and is generally priced 25% at lesser cost when compared to an apartment that has an OC and CC around the same locality. 40 by 60 stilt plus G+2 floors. If you plan to build more than 4 units on 3 upper floors, it's recommended to leave the entire stilt or ground floor for parking area to take care of the parking requirements. One needs also provide additional amenities like lift, power bank, a common room on the terrace area, etc. Thanks for watching. If you are looking for any architectural or house construction services in Bangalore, do feel free to call us on 9900 946 000 or visit our website link in the description box below.